Whether you're married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place, listen to us as we give no fuck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks, trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers they pluck. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam Heath Avitable.
This is Dating Kinda Sucks, a podcast about dating, sex, and relationships. This week, we'll be having a conversation about dating with herpes with TikTok influencer Megan Rose. Enjoy the show.
Megan Rose is a single mother of 3 children living in Houston, Texas. When she's not working for her family's residential remodeling company, she's sharing her life on TikTok, where she's reached almost 1 million followers who love her blunt, self-deprecating humor and brutal honesty when it comes to parenting, adulting, and dating.
With her recent series of posts bringing awareness about HSV to end the negative stigma of herpes, she's not only entertaining hundreds of thousands every day, but educating them as well. You can find her on TikTok or Instagram at _stonecoldweirdo_ backwards. Yeah, that's right. _ ODR, excuse me, ODRIEWDLOCENOTS I did it.
You did it. I gotta love that username. This is the hardest username to find, and she still managed to get 1 million followers, which just blows my mind. I've been a mutual follower and friend of, online friend, social media friend of Megan for quite a while on TikTok, and I just love her content. She's absolutely just fantastic, dynamic, hilarious, and it's been really great to have this chance to meet with her in a non-TikTok setting and talk to her about just her life, but also talk to her about what she does as far as herpes awareness. So this is going to be a fun show. Hopefully you enjoy it, and you're able to find her account and follow it at that,
right?
_stonecoldweirdo_ backwards. But we're going to be joined by Megan when we get back from this short break.
Hello. Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hi, Megan.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us.
I went and bought headphones just for
Wow.
Look at us.
I know.
All 3 with headphones.
This is my first anytime on a podcast ever, so I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's great, and thank you for joining us on today. I know you just had Valentine's Day, so how did you survive that? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
It was one of those where like Sunday I was fine. Sunday I was perfect. I was out at a Galentine's thing, and we all had mimosas and we had a good time, and then Monday hit, and for some reason it felt like death. It felt like, and not because of the mimosas, like I just was super sad, but that happens from time to time. Ever since my divorce, I just kind of have days where I'm just like, well, all right, we're just gonna piece this together the best we can, So how was your Valentine's?
I'm in a cabin in Vermont in the middle of nowhere, so I didn't do I didn't do
So
anything.
you had an amazing time.
Oh, it was fantastic.
So
I watched Netflix. I didn't wear pants. I ate chocolate. What else could you want?
That's the dream.
Yeah, and then I'm in Colombia and my boyfriend's back in Nashville, so we just FaceTime for like an hour or so, and that was kind of it. So nothing exciting really.
FaceTime? No,
actually we really just did, but yeah, we should have done more.
That was very direct. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Be direct.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
this is us. So that's exactly what we're like. Was Valentine's Day used to be a thing for you?
No, which is weird. That's the
So-
weird thing. Like, why
yeah.
did it make me sad? Right?
Right. Maybe you're just sad that it wasn't shitty. That's what it was. Like you were just missing. You little self-hatred, just kind of missing the shittiness. Is kind of maybe that's what it was this time.
I was missing the disappointment.
Yes.
I was missing the disappointment. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy how there's some song I love. I think I forget who sings it, but it's called Miss the Misery. It's like, it's so true, because it's not, whenever you think about it, that person was like a really shitty person. But why do I miss that a little bit?
Yeah,
Why do I,
The drama.
It's-
You missed the drama. No, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's the sex was really good.
I don't even believe that, actually. Yeah.
Right, that face. I didn't believe it.
Although you have a couple kids, so we know that it was good a couple times at least.
You don't have to come to make a baby.
I mean, that's true. That is true. That's true. I bet there are men. I mean, we probably know this because I mean, you and I are so active. You and I live on TikTok. Sarah does, but not quite as much. But there are probably men out there. She's in probably encountered these men too, who believe that, who probably think that you only make a baby if the woman has an orgasm.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Honest, I would not be surprised. Did you see the recent one? The recent guy,
the guy who was like the mechanic who talks about women who with single moms are low value in the dating world.
He said single moms are low hanging fruit. No man of value would date a single mom.
Yeah.
Yuck. And then I went to his page and he's this like sad little mechanic in Minnesota whose like wife must have divorced him, right? Because he's a sad little man and he's pissed about it and he's shitting on all single moms.
And he has the worst bowl cut I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just about to say that. And it's like a ginger bowl cut.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like sticking up in weird directions. And it looks like I almost asked him if he was drunk at one point.
Yeah.
Like, are you drunk at 11 a.m.? I can hear birds chirping outside. Like,
he's an interesting one. There's always a new one. It feels like whenever there's a one man, you're like, oh, it can't get worse, and then next week, oh nope, we found a new one. Sarah, you've got some content issues that you've had too, where you've encountered them.
Well, I talked about just sucking dick, and people just have comments about that. And one guy was like, "Oh, like I would only, you're a 2 pumps and done kind of girl," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, okay, like you could even get 2 pumps in." And then like all of the men in the comments were like, I would never get hard around you anyways. You're fucking ugly. You look like a boy. You have a mustache." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever. My bad. Fuck you."
No, the best part is that you didn't know any of those men existed, yet they're rejecting you before you ever reject them. Like they're like, "Oh, she was talking directly to me. I'm sure she was talking directly to me."
Triggered.
Right, triggered. Yes, that's the right word.
Did you ever think when you started a TikTok account with the hardest username to discover in the world, by the way, that you would spend your time talking about all types of things like this?
No. I started that account out of like okay, so I found out about the trial I was in the midst of last year and had one of the most horrific breakups of my life all within the same week. And I deleted my old account and started this one. And if you go back to the very first TikTok I made, I was yelling. I'm just going off on the camera. And so that's kind of what it blossomed as, is like my outlet, right? And so I didn't expect that so many people would relate to any of it. It was just kind of a place to yell at things. You know? So.
You did find, you chose a very obscure username that I would say would make it very difficult to go viral, to ever grow an audience, and yet you've managed to hit you're almost at 1 million. Are you there yet? I know it seems to grow every single day.
I know it's at 930 something, or it's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Like it's easy to put like out of sight, out of mind, right? To like look at that number and not really fully like understand how big that number is, right? And then I had someone whenever it was a while ago, and they were like, think about it, it's essentially 8 like football stadiums full of people, like 800,000 people. And I was just like, like that's so many people that are watching my things. And now I'm like, all the time I'm like, oh no, what have you seen? Did you see something? I don't know. What did you
do? People recognize you anywhere?
No, I've only had it happen the 2 times I've ever had it happen. The first time, hilariously, was my lawyer for my trial walked in the room and was like, I know you from TikTok. And it was the most hilarious interaction. And then I had a girl recently when I was out with girlfriends who came out of the bathroom, and we had a really nice conversation and exchanged phone numbers and stuff. But that's it's only happened those 2 times. It's not happened like, yeah. So but I'm just paranoid. I'm just like, I put really personal shit on the internet. And
Yeah.
people
Have you gotten into trouble for anything that you've said yet?
like, how do you mean?
Trouble with family, friends, anything that you put out there that someone was like your mom. I know you because your mom is now a TikToker, and and you've called her out a couple times for like commenting supportive things or random supportive shit.
She
Aw.
she doesn't comment supportive shit. She comments things like, "Is this what you were doing when you said you had errands?"
Oh well, that's.
I'm like,
no.
I'm like, Mom, get out of my comment section. Like, you're embarrassing me. And she thinks it's cute, and she'll just like pop in on random videos and just leave these little passive aggressive little comments, and I'll call her out on it. And so yeah, I mean, well, I've posted recently in the last month my herpes awareness videos,
Right.
and that ruffled some feathers, ironically. So I mean, it's a hard thing for, I think, everyone at first to understand, because has such a negative stigma around it. People are like, why would you put that on the internet?
Right.
You know, they're just very, so it was an interesting having to have that conversation over and over again with people. So yeah.
But didn't it help people too? Because I know one of the ones you did was like someone sending this to you to have this conversation. So what kind of feedback in that respect have you had?
Oh, that's the one thing that has validated this the most, is the amount of DMs, the amount of people that have reached out to me via TikTok, via Instagram, and I see them, and I don't answer a lot of them because I was kind of overwhelmed at first with the amount of people that were telling me their stories, that were opening up to me and telling me the terrible experiences they've gone through, and not because of the herpes itself, because of the way that people treat them, because they have it. And it made me incredibly fucking sad, but then also feel so much less alone, which was the whole point, which is that so people just have other people to talk to about it. Because I mean, I've been open about it with my friends and my family, but no, I think I found one or two maybe friends that kind of also share the same experiences, but it's hard to find people that, to be able to talk to openly about that. So it's crazy.
What was it? I guess inspired you to first come out with that? Because I will say that because I can appreciate the idea to be transparent, and it can be, being vulnerable online can be scary, but you do get that reward a lot of times. So what was it just your ADD, or was it actually something more than that?
Can I just say how much I love that you just called me the fuck out on that, because I was just about to say it was a bit impulsive. It was a bit, just a little bit. So I'd been kind of thinking for a while, like kind of back and forth on whether or not I should go about even posting about it or not. And then I came across that tiny little man's video being like, oh, I'm a life coach, and these are the things you're not asking in the dating world. And I don't even remember what the first question was, but then he gets to the second one. And he's like, and this is going to ruffle some tail feathers, folks, but you got to ask them if they have herpes. It's running rampant out there. You got to ask people because they're not telling you. You got to ask them about the STDs. And he just kept saying herpes. And every single time he said it, it made me want to like punch him in his stupid little nose. And it was like 3 a.m. and I just started making drafts of responding to this TikTok. And I was fucking livid at first. I was livid. And then I realized I can't come at it like that. I can't come at this thing that already has such a negative stigma around it with animosity. I have to meet it with a positive angle if I want people to view it in a positive way. So it took quite a few drafts to dial it down to where it was in the beginning. So
how has that message been received, like when you're dating or just telling any partner?
Oh god. So I've had good and bad. I've had people that didn't care. People that would just kind of ask questions, kind of be like, okay, like I'm open to this, but I want to like understand it a little bit more. And I've had people that just straight up said no, but in a very kind way. And then I've had people who have made me cry. So I think I made a video about one guy who so we went on a first date, and I'd already kind of decided, like within the first couple of like 30 minutes, I was like, all right, like I mean, like he's a really great guy, but I don't really see this being like a long-term thing. And I was just like, probably like first date sex or something, you know? If he's down,
Yeah.
just being blunt, you know? And I could very much tell that that was also the wavelength he was on. Like it didn't, you know, feel one-sided. So later on, we're kissing at one point, and this was my mistake. This was my mistake, is that I waited too long and waited till the moment was in a moment of passion to say it, which is the wrong moment to do it. It's almost taking advantage of someone. So, and also like you can't, I guess now that I'm like talking about it again, I can't really blame the guy. I can blame him. He was a fucking asshole, but he like he was kind of like very taken aback. So anyways, I tell him, and he's like, "Oh, I wish you would have told me this before. I wish you'd have told me this earlier." Like, we met 3 hours ago.
Right.
What? Like when did you? At least I'm telling you. I can't even fathom or make words to understand how he reacted so intensely to me showing him respect and telling him that. I don't, you know. So I think that's what made me cry, actually, is I just kind of, and right in front of him too, right there. Like I just instantly started bawling my eyes out just right in front of him. And
he was just like you're not gonna post that on your dating profile of like anything like that. And in 3 hours, that's not typically a conversation that comes up anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Since posting on TikTok, though, I've had people tell me that they put it in their dating profile. And I'm like, that is bold. That is bold as fuck.
I've seen it as I've crossed the country and been on Tinder and stuff. I've seen it in quite a few different places and it's always you know, they're very blunt. Just you know, I'm HSV positive. I'm willing to talk about it if you're, you know, willing to be open minded, and at least have a conversation with me. And I respect that every time I see that.
Yeah, same.
I guess that like gets it out in the open sooner, so that you don't have an awkward first, second, third date, I guess.
I will say, yeah. Also, that might also be kind of a bit of being terrified of having that conversation, like initially breaking that ice in person, because trying to get over that initial nerve, at least for me, to just begin even saying it out loud, it was the hardest part, you know, is trying to get over the terrified feeling of like, ah, fuck, here we go again. Like, just prepare yourself for worst case, you know, and then you won't be disappointed, right? That sounds terrible, but I mean, whenever you're met with a lot of negativity, it's just kind of, I guess, a safety guard you put on yourself. So, you know, it's probably a bit of that too. It's like kind of weed out the people who are going to be assholes about it. Weed out the people who are going to be like, ugh, you know, those are the people that you don't want to have to deal with face to face, because they're not going to respect you. They're not going to react, you know, like they're talking to a human being. So, you know.
Right. I think my advice in like the dating profile way would be maybe not to put it in your profile, but to mention it in the dating conversation. Once you match with somebody, if the conversation seems like it's going, you know, a good way, then it might be a good place to break the ice digitally. Not necessarily, and so you don't have to do it in person, but you can also see if the person's going to be an asshole and just disappear, or if they're willing to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, so let's what are the things that you want people to know? Let's get rid of this stigma. Let's talk about what are the things that get rid of the stigma? What's the information that people should be aware of?
So, I mean, essentially, it's almost like a skin condition in a way. Like it's not something that you can die from. Like it's not this terrible ailing illness that people think. Because I think whenever people connect the fact that it's always in your bloodstream, like it's always in your system, right? You have it forever, with having the breakouts at all times. I think that's why people equate that in their heads, like, ugh, you know, but it's like, it's not some people can have no breakouts ever in their life. The only way they know is if they'd have a blood test done, you know? And then there are people who can have one just initially to find out and then never have another one again. And then there are some who will just have them periodically throughout their life, kind of due to stress, due to, sometimes it can be like acidic foods, things like it all depends on the person. That's the crazy part, is that it differs from person to person on like how exactly it affects everybody, you know? So yeah. Sorry. My brain just farted.
Where's the train derailing? Where are we going with you? Where did your brain just go to?
I was trying to bring myself back to the bullet points. So it is not this terrible ailing illness, right? Because cold sores are a form of HSV. So that's, you know, and people got real riled up whenever I said that cold sores were HSV and you can transfer it and it can become an STD, and people were really upset about that, which I anticipated, because if you would admit that to yourself, then you admit that you have a responsibility, right, to tell people, and people don't want to admit that to themselves. But that's because there's such a negative attitude about it. And it's been so deeply ingrained in us that even whenever I was initially diagnosed, like I immediately hated myself. Just no questions asked. No rhyme or reason for it. Just immediately hated myself. And not because I knew anything about it, you know? It's just, I mean, it is an STD. It is something that can be kind of annoying sometimes. Like I have outbreaks, whenever I have like really high stress. But I don't have them often. But either way, like even when I have them, it's more of like, it's essentially like an outbreak on like a cold sore on your lip. Like it's like a tingle. Like it's an annoyance for a couple of days, and then that's it. Like it's not this. It doesn't affect your health negatively. Sorry, I'm a little I'm a little nervous, and so I'm just okay.
No, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So it's the way that people react as if it's essentially leprosy or it's essentially a death sentence to get it. That's the way people react. They react like it's a death sentence. Like it's, but if we're honest with ourselves, it's not because we think that the herpes itself is a death sentence. It's because we think that the stigma that has been placed on it makes it a fucking death sentence.
Yep.
Right. And so we're all aware of this stigma, whether we realize it or not. You know, it's so.
Well, and from what I've heard too, is that they don't even necessarily test for it when you get an STI panel done.
Right.
Unless you specifically ask for it. So people are going out and getting tested and thinking that they don't have it, and they have no idea.
I know.
And that's because the stigma is so bad. They're like, we just don't want people to know. Like, it's just better not to know.
Well, see, yeah, exactly. That's the crazy part, is they're like, it's really better. Like like even medical professionals were like, listen, we know this isn't going to kill people. So if we just don't test people and save them the mental health issues, they'll be fine. Like even they're like, it's okay, which isn't okay. Like, I'm not condoning that they need to be fucking testing people, but like, they think that's essentially the attitude. They're like, let's just not worry about it. Let's just ignore the problem, right? Ignore the issue. So, which is actually adding to the negative stigma. So it's just, you know.
Because the doctors aren't talking about it. They're like, oh, you want this panel done? Okay. And they test you for like chlamydia and gonorrhea. And it's only, at least like from my perspective, like I've never been asked, like, do you want a blood test? Or like, if I've been like, oh, what else can you test me for? They're like, don't worry about the blood test. And that's always been like, oh, let's just not test you for that. That's been my experience.
Yep. Oh, so there is a guy I dated last year, and he told me that he went to the doctor and he was going to get tested. And the doctor actually told him, whenever he spoke about herpes, because his ex-wife had it and he had it, and like he had cheated. He was a cheater, essentially. Like, and so he knew he had it. He told me long before that he had it. I visibly seen him have an outbreak, and he went to the doctor and he lied to him and told him like, no, I haven't had an outbreak, da da da. But the doctor just kind of was like, oh, like, meh, you're fine. Don't worry. Like, it's not really necessary. Like, it's not really, even though he was asking him for it, he just told him, basically told him no. Like, he was like, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And of course, someone who is not wanting to know that, someone who is like, oh, cool. Like, I don't now I don't have to face the truth and own the responsibility that comes with this, right? So of course they're gonna be like, okay, cool, doc. You know? So
well, it's like, how many ads have you seen, like, especially in the winter time for cold sores and stuff, but they never talk about, oh, this is HSV1, or oh, that never gets brought up in those commercials. But a lot of people use those products for cold sores but don't connect the dots.
And a lot of people suck dicks. So like, it's just, you know, it happens, you know, there's a lot of crossover there.
a lot of people, you know, perform cunnilingus as well.
Yes, exactly. That as well.
You know.
What are some of the maybe some of the myths or the questions that people have that you feel like about being intimate with someone who has tested for HSV?
Say that again. What do you mean?
Some of the myths, like can you spread it while you're shedding? Like, what are I guess what are the precautions that people can take and that make it okay to be intimate with someone who has HSV?
So I personally take Valciclovir, which is essentially Valtrex, every day, and it's something that you don't have to take. It's not a mandatory thing. It's what they give you whenever you're having an active outbreak, that you take 500 milligrams twice a day, and it just kind of kicks it, you know, suppresses it, and in your system. And then there's also I just forgot what they were called.
Vitamins, multivitamin.
I know, that's what I thought. I was like,
multivitamin. I think it's multivitamin, or no, that's not what it's called. I'm so sorry.
Is it a pack of something?
No. Damn it.
Acids?
It's called lysine. Damn it. What is it called? Hold on. I'm literally going to Google this right now because I need to be able to give correct information. And of course, my brain is deciding that this is hilarious to do.
That's okay.
You
look it up for now.
Okay, so I take I'm sorry. When I get nervous, my brain just shuts down. Okay, it's a supplement. Oh my God, I cannot believe could not think of that word. It's a supplement that you can take every day, called lysine, and it's something that's really good for your hair and your skin, because it's it's a thing that affects your skin, and it also helps suppress it in your system and helps you go longer without breakouts. And the shedding aspect of it is actually something I'm still kind of learning about myself, because it's so intermittent. You know, I do know that the longer you go without a breakup, the less likely you are to be shedding it in your system at all. And obviously during a breakout, it's the highest, more like 100%, obviously, probably more likely. Don't quote me on that. And then as you go further, let's
just say that none of us are doctors, by the way.
Right, we should have started that.
Yeah.
I have herpes. That's it. That's my qualification. And I've educated myself. That's it. But I'm a dumbass.
Do not take this as medical advice. Yes, exactly. We are just
I am a self-proclaimed dumbass. Okay, so let's just make that very clear. So yeah, obviously, and then the further out you get from one, the less likely you are to be shedding it. And it's so hard to pinpoint when you could be shedding or when you couldn't. So it's just obviously use protection and just talk about it. Be honest with each other. Be vocal in a relationship, and just make sure that you're communicating with your partner when your last outbreak was, and how your body is feeling and stuff. So yeah.
Open and honest communication, what we preach every time we have a podcast episode.
that's the key to everything, right? Isn't it?
Exactly. And there are actually other supplements as well that, as I've started posting on TikTok, people have come in my comments and been like, I take this or I take this. And so there are others out there as well. So there are a lot of things that can help you just kind of stay on top of it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Before we get to other topics, what else would you like to talk about as far as HSV and maybe anything else that people like I said, myths that people believe, or anything that might that people might ask?
Mm, we've covered a lot of the main points. I guess one thing that I always try to drive is that during those conversations that you have with people whenever you're disclosing to them that you have herpes, make sure that you let them know like there's no pressure there. You know what I mean? Like take a moment and like ask questions, you know? Like it's not something that has to be decided right now because I feel like I don't know, like that whole conversation in itself is kind of has pressure involved in it and it's like I don't know. It's trying to make sure people understand that it's like, listen, I'm trying to have an honest communicate like dialogue with you. So let's just, talk about it, I guess. But yeah.
Okay. That's great. Well, we want to talk about some of the things just about general dating and you just being you. And we're going to get to that after we take this short break.
I was dying laughing at your TikTok recently where you were talking, or maybe it was the pinned one you had where you're like, my ham wallet.
Yes. That one was the best because I didn't realize that the captions called it a hand wallet instead of a ham wallet. And so people were so confused in the comments. It went on for months where people were like, hand or ham? Do we know what she said? Does anybody know what the fuck she said?
So you've come up with some good euphemisms for different body parts because you've got the ham wallet. You've also got your Grand Canyon when you were referring.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like
To my butthole.
yes, you're talking about your butthole. There was a whole series of TikToks about your butt, and then I feel like you had
God.
one about your pelvic floor. I mean, you've done a lot of pelvic floor ones as well.
I have one. I have a series that I inadvertently started making. That was the first day of my menstrual cycle, because for some reason that's like the worst fucking day of the because and I someone in the comments on one of my videos mentioned PMDD, which is like PMS on crack.
Yep.
And I knew it existed, but I never really Googled it. And I Googled it and I was like, oh shit. Like, that's it. That's all the things. Checked all the boxes. Like, so cool. I have insane PMS. Awesome. So I've made a few videos about that because I've like rage texted ex-boyfriends and like made an ass out of myself. So
It's fine. It's fine.
Is there anything that you don't think you would make a TikTok about?
I can hear my daughter crying. Sorry, my mom is out there. So
she's taking
can you
it,
can
yeah.
you hear that?
No.
Okay,
These things are
okay.
usually pretty good as noise canceling, so you're good.
Okay, good. I was worried that it was being picked up. Okay, my mom's out there. She's okay. So sorry, what was the question again?
We're just
anything
gonna
I
tell people,
wouldn't
we're
post
gonna tell
about.
everybody, we're gonna tell everybody just to ignore the woman crying in the background while they listen to the episode.
Yes.
Just ignore the
Ignore
the crying in the background.
to all the commenters who are gonna be like, oh my god, her daughter was crying and she didn't immediately get up like fucking Flash and fly out of the room. Like there are two adults out there. Shut your mouths. Okay. Sorry. I already anticipate it. I already know.
Right.
I already know. So anything I wouldn't post about. So real quick, actually, I do want to point out. So Ham Wallet and Squish Mitten and I think there might have been a third one. So there is a song by oh my god, what is the band? Oh my god. I'm gonna not remember it. The song is called Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo, and it's by the Bloodhound Gang.
Okay.
And that is where the whole song is euphemisms about the penis and vagina. So it's hilarious.
That's fantastic. I feel like I've heard that song. It's an older song, right?
Yeah. I think I want to say I was in high school, maybe junior high. I'm not sure. But okay, so anything I wouldn't post about. Well, I will say I'm going to be real blunt and honest about this because you asked. So that whole trial I went through, last year with my ex-husband, which I'm not going to go too far into details about it. I had a previous TikTok where I posted how my, very personal details about my divorce, about, my ex-husband, about my dating life, what have you, much more personal, much more direct, right? About particular people. You knew who it was about. And that came back to bite me in the ass. And, the judge actually had a conversation with me, and I won that whole thing December 3rd. And the judge actually had a little conversation with me and was like, listen, like, you have to think about this. You have to think about one day your children seeing this stuff. She's like, I know you feel this way, and I know like your feelings are valid, but you have to think how this, and then she was so, like, the way that she put it was so empathetic yet so direct and so honest, and it was just, she was very eloquent in the way that she put it. And so I've learned my lesson about knowing what's the things that are going to affect people, that affect my little people one day, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's the only things I won't post about, is more direct details about my divorce and my ex-husband and stuff. So, but
That's I think that's good, and I think it's also good that at the same token you are also not worried about them seeing you talk about openly about sex and about dating and all those things, and worried about them, like, because people try to judge for that, like, yo, what if your kids see this? What if your kids see this? They're not going to find anything negative about what you have to say. They're going to appreciate that you're honest and open, and I think that's a good thing.
yeah, I would feel a way about it. I would feel a certain way about my kids seeing this one day if what I was doing wasn't genuine, if what I was doing wasn't just who I am, and I am just speaking my truth. You know what I mean? Like I'm just being myself.
Mhm.
So essentially they would just be watching their mother act a fool on the internet and be embarrassed, just like every other teenager,
Right.
which is probably about the time that they'll see it. I deserve to you know what? I am pre-embarrassing my kids. Like, I'm setting up a whole file of shit that I'm just gonna throw on them whenever they're teenagers and be like, ha ha. So now I'm excited. I just realized this.
I know we talked about just your Valentine's Day earlier, but with your social media following now and dating, has that impacted conversations, and what's changed versus before having a following?
So so right now I am off dating apps for 90 days. I've given myself this little cleanse, right? Because ever since my divorce, I don't think I've gone like more than 2 months without being on, like, just like even having just like a back and forth on a dating app. Just so I need a but anyways, so every single time though in the last couple months that I've like gone back on for a moment and I match with someone, they normally are like, oh my God, I know you from TikTok. And I'm like, God damn it. And I've like, and like a lot of the women I match with though, it's the women I match with because that's who that's who mainly follows me, right? And so every single time they're like, I follow you on TikTok. So ladies, by the way, if you match with me on a dating app in the future, do not open with that, because that freaks me the fuck out and I will run away. So don't do that.
Why are you running away? I have that happen too. So because all my content is dating content and my audience is 98% women, that when I travel the country and I'm on Tinder, I would say fully third of the people I match with, the women are like, oh, I already follow you on TikTok, or or I listen to the podcast. And so for me, it's like, oh, cool. Now it holds me accountable. Like, I'm like, well, now I'm not that I would be an asshole or creepy or weird or a ghost or anything like that, but now I'm definitely not going to, because you're like a follower or a fan.
That's a very good point too. I actually don't really know exactly why it is that freaks me out so much. I don't know. I just kind of am like, gosh, shit. What have you? You know what it is? I'm like, what have you seen? What do you know? You already know. So you already are so far ahead of me in this conversation. Like, I have so much catching up to do. Not that that's a bad thing. So, not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, shit. What have you seen? How much do you know? Okay. Like, God damn it. So, but I have then I've had people reach out to me and I've had like, because you have like the message requests on Instagram and stuff, like from people that, right? And I have people that have messaged me on Instagram and been like, hey, I matched with you on Tinder a while ago. And and then been like, I just wanted to like say hi and tell you that I matched with you, and, and it's really sweet, but I'm just like, all right, cool.
Like, why?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a dating no-no though. Like if you match with somebody on a dating app, taking it to social media, I've always found is not okay. Like that's not an okay thing to do.
No, they're okay. I will say the best, weirdest one above all was this one guy I matched with, and I was on Tinder or Hinge, I don't remember. And he immediately sends me this massive paragraph, basically referencing all of my TikToks in like sentences, and like one word sentences or something. And yeah. And then there was another one that was like, and I know your response is going to be so epic. I can't wait for your amazing epic response. And I just like never said anything.
Oh my God.
I didn't say anything. I was like, my guy, this is too much. You can't do that. You can't. Well, did you think, you didn't think that I would react this way to that? You didn't anticipate that I would want to run away from that? I don't know.
I think that people forget that you're a human being, not just a performer on TikTok. And then that's one thing as a content creator that have you found that there's anything that you wish your audience, that your followers would understand about you, that they just like, I think they probably feel like maybe like you're always on or something like that, that maybe they haven't quite grasped sometimes?
I get told a lot that I'm really aggressive, or that I don't give any fucks, right? And I love that. It's amazing that is what people see in me. But I do give some fucks. There are things that do obviously strike nerves and things that bring me down. Even whenever I see herpes stuff still, even though I am really putting it in like a positive direction, it still stings. Like it still gets to me. So I'm a human being, I think, is kind of what, I don't know. And people are really surprised whenever they see me in lives and they're like, oh my God, you're actually you're actually matching up to the person in the video. And I always have found that hilarious, because I'm like, well, who else the fuck else would I be? I don't, but I mean, there obviously are TikToks that are, characters and everything, you know what I mean? So I get that, but it's just, I always find that funny. So
if they match with you, just don't even mention TikToks, or just treat you like a regular person.
Like casually be like, oh my God, I just figured out where I know you from. Like act like you don't give two fucks. Just be like, just easy breezy. I am actually, also, this is another thing people should know about me. I'm actually weirdly an introverted person, even though I literally put my entire like cooter to, back like all over the internet. It's it's bad, but I really am like more of an introverted person. So but wait, where was I going with that? Shit, I just lost my train of thought mid-sentence, guys. That's so embarrassing.
Dating, matching with people.
subtly putting it in.
Okay. Introverted. So I think that's why it wigs me out when people say that, because I want to like, I don't know, I'd be more, what am I trying to say? I'm an introverted person, and I guess saying that to me kind of like just scares me a little bit. I don't know why, it just does. And so I'm kind of like, oh, like, oh no, I gotta hide back in my hole. So
I would guess it's because it's people, then they're expecting a lot from you. When you're just being your genuine self and you're just putting yourself out there, you're you. But if someone's expecting you to be who you genuinely are, thank
you. That is exactly the words I was looking for. There's like a expectation all of a sudden that I'm all of a sudden placed on my own shoulders.
Mhm.
That I'm like, ah, shit. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I can definitely empathize with that. I tell people that I'm a stand-up comedian and they expect me to be funny. Oh, tell me a joke, and I'm like, no, I know that's not what I
He's
do.
not funny. No.
Fuck you.
I had to do just one dig.
I know you did. I know you did. But it is. People always assume that. And as another introvert, I understand that too. And I just went on a date recently and we were talking about that. She's like, if you would come here to this bar by yourself, would you like, what would you do? I was like, I would talk to the bartender and that's it. I'm not going to make friends with random people. It's just not me. And I was like, but if they needed somebody to get on that stage right there and do an hour of material roasting everybody in the room, I would be up there and I'd do it without even thinking about it. It'd be great, but I'm not talking to people individually, but talking up there as this focus of attention, I'm fine with. So, because I'm in control, is I think is what it is a lot of it, because you're in control of what your own TikToks. You're not in control of people's reactions to you in person, especially on dating apps and things like that.
Very true, because you also have to, like, people have to remember is that I'm extremely ADHD, and so I'm sitting there looking.
No, really?
No,
I had no idea.
I know I hit it so well, guys. But I'm like sitting there looking at my phone, looking at my own reflection. Like, and it is so easy for my brain to out of sight, out of mind. So forgetting for a moment that I'm about to show this video to now nearly a fucking million people. Like, it's like I can't even like say it loudly. Like, I need to whisper it. It's like I don't feel confident saying that aloud right now. So like it's easy for my brain to for a moment like disconnect from that, and forget people. It's almost like I don't know, making a diary entry, in a way. And then obviously I put it on the internet and then I'm like, ah, shit. And then
you like post it and forget it though. Like you're actively knowing you're filming that, and then you put it up there and you're like, only 3 people are going to see it. And then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. that was literally exactly what I thought when I posted that first TikTok last summer. Like I literally just, because I just put everything I had into it. I was yelling at the phone because I honestly was like, I'm gonna post this and no one's gonna fucking see it. No one's gonna fucking see it. And that's the best part about TikTok, is that's why people are like, I'm afraid to post. And you'll hear people, I know I used to roll my eyes at content creators who would say that, and they're like, don't be afraid to post because you never know. Like, honestly though, because I put that out there not thinking no one was gonna fucking see it, and that one blew up.
Oh, that was the one that blew up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, I pissed off so many people. And that's what it was. I pissed off so many men just right out of the gate. I had so many people for months stitching that video with just the nonsense that was coming out of their mouths. Anyways, why was I telling you about the first TikTok that I made? That one blew up. So don't be afraid to post things, because
that was the point.
You never know.
Yeah,
you were making the point.
You never know.
Because my next question was going to be, when did you know that your TikTok was going to grow? And it was that first video? Was that really when things really like immediately started escalating?
So it was that one kind of blew things up for a minute, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, well, there are actually people seeing this shit now, Megan. and then I, that kind of sat there for a minute, and then there was, I'm trying to remember which one came first, but there was the purse video. Did you ever see that one?
Probably.
The phone purse video?
No.
Where I was like, what's that? No, you never. It's hilarious. There's this girl that's like, have you ever had anyone want to fuck the ever living shit out of you or whatever? And I stitch it and I'm like, no, but what I do have is this phone purse. And the aux cord connects to my phone. I was like, what's up? And then people ate that shit up, and
that's great.
It was, and then it was the video where I put the note card on my head. That one was insane. That one reached 1 million. And I literally, like, I saw that comment and she was being a dick, like saying like, you're not tough because you cuss or something like that. And I saw that she used the wrong form of your. And And I just like looked over at my nightstand and I was like, how can I encompass 2 messages in one? And I looked over and I saw note cards and I was like, boom. And I just like slapped it on my forehead and made a video, and it reached fucking 1 million. I was like, holy shit. Cause yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't live in an insane asylum, I swear.
We're not hearing screaming children.
Luckily we
No,
can't
we
hear
don't hear
anything,
it.
so you're good. You're good. It might be all in your
Shut
head,
up!
apparently. Yeah.
Shut up.
You're just talking to voices now, Megan.
Can you guys really not hear anything?
We can't
No.
hear anything. Not at all.
So I really no. So I'm just here. I'm just ghost in my house.
Yes.
I'm a crazy person. We know this. So okay, wait, shit, my brain went off track again. God damn it, Megan.
We were talking about that.
Your-
TikTok.
The your
yes,
video.
Yes.
And then it went up after that. And then I made that series of videos where I was talking about that guy, that little fucker, Jeffrey, who was like, man, like, I feel like after 3 dates, we should be physical. And so this just isn't working out. And I was like, eat a dick, Jeffrey. I literally verbatim sent him a text message that says, 3 dinners does not earn you the right to, what did I say? A jump inside my vagina, or a trip inside my vagina. A trip inside my vagina. That's what I said. And I made that video. And then there were people in the comments who were like, yeah, like, because alluding to the fact that like, if a woman gave it up on the first date, then like, yeah, like, don't be a hussy, don't be a hoe. And then I had to make a follow-up, and I was like, okay, wait, hold on, no, like, because I've had sex I was like, I have had sex on so many first dates, like, I had a good time, all right, and I'm not ashamed of that, and no one should be ashamed of that. So we're not going to do that, you know. And then that kind of that's when I was just, shit kind of got real for a moment, and stuff was getting out of hand. So I didn't really know what to.
And now
do.
you have content for days, because every time you do a video, just the comments alone provide you with replying to
God.
those, provide you with more content, because some of your comments are insane. Absolutely. And I enjoy that. I do the same thing you do, where I pin the shittiest comment that you get. I usually pin it to the top and let your followers take over and attacking them. It's fantastic.
Oh, it's that's what I actually had someone. Who was it? It was another creator that told me that they're like, man, your followers are fierce. And I was like, what do you mean? And they said there was someone who like stitched one of your videos or something, and sometimes I'll miss those. Sometimes I won't catch some of those, and they're like, they stitched a video of yours, and the people in the comments were all your followers, like, commented them hard, and I'm like, I'm not even seeing this shit. Like, I'm not seeing any of this, but like, my people are just like, fucking comment, like, it's fucking awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. So yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
You built a badass community of people.
I did. It's it's so I don't know. It's
the
cool.
Size of a mid-sized town now, I think, basically.
of a mid-sized town.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like Tulsa. You've basically just built the TikTok Tulsa.
TikTok Tulsa.
Population 930,000.
Oh my God.
Well, what
you
we're
want
gonna
a Spitfire?
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We have before we get to the Spitfire, because that's how we're gonna end everything. Is we're gonna do a little Spitfire rapid round of like 5 questions. You just answer as fast as you can.
Oh,
and
no.
Then, and then we're gonna end it after that. But after that, I want you to give your signature ending phrase as we sign off phrase, and then we'll call it an end. But before we get there, I want to tell everybody to go follow Megan if you don't already. And once again, you can follow her on TikTok and Instagram at _StoneColdWeirdo_ backwards. That's right. You have to flip it backwards.
Wait, but you got to do the underscore and then do the Stone Cold Weirdo backwards and then underscore. Yeah, I am so sorry.
Underscore and then backwards. Yeah, that's the worst.
I did not to be fair, guys, I thought no one was ever gonna see anything I ever fucking put on the internet, so I made that for my own entertainment. So
it's incredible. And like I immediately recognized that that's what it was. Like I mean, because whenever my brain just looks at words and flips them, so I immediately saw Stone Cold Weirdo. So that's how I would find you at first when I was originally like followed you. But the fact that sometimes people didn't even get that, they just thought it was some type of weird Gaelic thing or something some whatever. It's like a Harry Potter curse or something. And then so it's _ Stone Cold Weirdo _ but then flip it. And you'll be able to find her. But in TikTok, the nice thing is you can just search for Megan Rose, and it actually pops right up too, so you can find her that way as well. So
well, there you go. There you go.
But all right, let's get into our quick fire round, and here you go. Just answer as quickly as possible. First question, Sarah, do you want to do this one?
Yes. Fuck, marry, kill Mr. Rogers, Barney the dinosaur, or Steve from Blue's Clues.
Oh, I'd marry Steve from Blue's Clues. Mr. Rogers or Barney. Fucking kill Barney and fuck Mr. Rogers.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised with myself, but I'm standing by that.
Okay.
All right. Sarah, go ahead. You can do these.
Keanu Reeves as Neo or as John Wick?
Oh, Neo, because I actually haven't really watched the John Wick movies, honestly. Like I've seen a little bit of them, so Neo.
What's your worst habit?
Oh, I honestly, I pick at my skin a lot, and I like bite at my nails. Like it's, yeah. And I found out that I think it's like an ADHD thing where it's like a stimming, where like you do that as a way to like regulate your emotions or what have you. But anyways, yeah, it's, yeah. I guess that's my worst. I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next
There
one.
are probably actually more toxic ones, but I'm on the spot. I couldn't think of them. Sorry.
If you could consensually bang any person, real or fictional, who would it be?
Oh.
Quick
I
fire.
know this because what is his name? He's from Lord of the Rings and
Orlando Bloom.
No, not his character. Viggo Mortensen's character. What is his name?
I don't know.
No idea.
But I know who you're talking about. Aragorn or something like that?
Aragorn.
Aragorn?
I'd fuck the shit out of Aragorn.
So not Viggo Mortensen, but
No.
Aragorn. But the actual the Lord of the Rings character. Okay.
Aragorn. And like if Liv Tyler's character wants to get in there too, that's cool. Like I'm down for it. So
And then finish this sentence. Men are blank.
Gosh.
First thing that comes to mind.
Come on. Quick fire. Men are
fucking simple, but also fucking complicated as hell. I don't know. That's not a good answer. I'm so sorry. That is a terrible fucking answer. No, they're simple yet complicated. I guess. I don't know.
No, that's an answer. There we go. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's our question. See, it's just whatever comes off the top of your head, rolls off your tongue, just like that. That's fantastic. And so we're going to go ahead and thank you very much for joining us, Megan. This has been a great conversation. And usually Sarah and I have a little sign off, but I feel like we're just going to let you sign off with your normal sign off. So
should I say night or day?
Whatever
you feel.
Whatever you feel.
Okay. All right. This feels so weird to say like directly to people, by the way, because I always say it to myself into a fucking camera. So I'm going to close my eyes and say this is so weird. Okay. Okay. Professional. Whew. Have a great fucking day, assholes. Bye.
Whether you're married Married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place. Listen to us as we give no fuck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks. Trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers they pluck. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.